Hi, I'm attorney Gregory Dell, and today I'm joined by attorney Cesar Gavidia, and we're going to discuss osteoarthritis and how it relates to a short-term or long-term disability insurance claim. Now, Cesar, from the hundreds of claims that you've worked on for people that have osteoarthritis, often it's either a primary condition or it's secondary to some other medical condition that they have. What do you find is one of the biggest challenges that comes from the disability insurance company when you submit a claim and the primary diagnosis is osteoarthritis?
Well, osteoarthritis is a very, very common arthritic condition. It's degenerative joint disease, essentially, where your joints and the cartilage in the joints is degenerating. It could be caused by age, just aging. It's a natural process of it. And if you did a lot of activity in your younger days, like a lot of athletics, or just your job was extensively physical, that could cause arthritic degenerative changes like which are caused by osteoarthritis. So the reason that it's challenged so much is because it's so common, and also because of the fact that what are the objective findings of the particular symptoms and the extent of the symptoms that this particular insured or claimant is suffering. So they find it as an easy disability to target. We see that the x-rays are positive, that you have these degenerative changes, but so many people deal with this. You could probably do your job with an accommodation, or your doctor is not necessarily treating you as aggressively as we think it would be treated if it was a severe condition. You're only taking, Advil or Tylenol to control the pain. So they attack it from that standpoint, and that's usually why it's such a commonly denied disability.
Right. I think there's no dispute because an x-ray will often show the osteoarthritis or an MRI or a CT scan as well. But I think what they then do that is they go out and say, okay, we understand your job, or at least they think they do. And then they go out and run video surveillance. And they show you doing some kind of normal activity, whether it's taking your child to school or going to the grocery store or getting gas or going shopping, all things that you still do. And they say, well, I know you have osteoarthritis of your shoulder or of your wrist or of your knees, but you're walking okay and you're carrying groceries, so you should be able to go in and do your job. And what they don't know is what kind of painkillers is the person taking at that particular time. How many days before they went out and did that activity were they resting? How many days did they suffer potentially after that? How did they sleep that night, if at all, because of the activity that they did during the day? And how does that activity of being seen on video for an hour or two relate to their ability to actually do their job for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week? And those are all the things that we deal with as attorneys on a daily basis to anticipate and prepare a client for so that they don't get denied, and then helping clients in appeals to get reversed by working with the claimant and working with the doctor to properly document their complaints with the doctor, as well as what all of their limitations are and how it's affecting them during the day. For someone with osteoarthritis who is living with this condition, is either on claim or has been denied, I often recommend that they keep a pain journal. Is that something that you do?
I think that's a good thing to do for somebody who's potentially suffering from osteoarthritis and is seeking a disability claim, because you got to remember that you could only trust your doctor so much to document the pain and the symptoms that you're claiming, that they're documenting that appropriately, or the way that it should be documented to succeed in a disability claim. You generally aren't asking for your medical records. Most people aren't reviewing them, so they don't know. So keeping a pain journal is a good way to track, these moments and,
Right.
and instances and days that you have bad days and this pain and the pain that you experience. And that way you could go to your doctor and you could tell them so that they could document in their notes the extent of your pain and how often you're experiencing it. And then that may even help with further your treatment and manage your pain and your condition. But the other thing with the doctors is you got to remember most of these doctors that are treating osteoarthritis are treating a lot of patients for osteoarthritis. So most of them, they may not, your doctor may not think of your condition as being very severe. And if you don't document it that way, perhaps through a pain journal,
Right.
then they're not going to remember you from necessarily or distinguish you necessarily from the other patients that they have who are suffering from the same type of condition and disease.
So let's just touch on one more thing, because you talked about something, whether or not it's more people having more severe conditions. Right. But, someone who has osteoarthritis, it's a chronic condition. They didn't just wake up and all of a sudden I'm disabled by osteoarthritis. So the disability carriers will always deal with, well, why now? What changed? And that's the big thing that we work with claimants to be able to prove as to why now the osteoarthritis became disabling. The other things that we deal with are, what types of interventional medicine did you use to try to treat your condition? Did you get injections? Did you have epidurals? Did you take certain medications to try to control your pain? And they're always looking for those kinds of things, but a lot of people don't like to do anything interventional, like injections or arthroscopic surgeries or whatever types of different things are available to them, and they're not necessarily required to, but the disability insurance companies will hold that against them.
Right.
So if you have a claim that's based upon osteoarthritis or any type of secondary medical condition as a result of your osteoarthritis, no matter what claim you're at, if you're considering filing, you need to file your application for disability, your claim's been denied, you have to file an appeal or a lawsuit, feel free to call us at any time. We'll provide you with a free review of your claim and let you know right away whether or not we think we can assist you.